What's up with it? You watching the Big Mama TV? And yeah, we about to check out this video from the YouTube channel The Petty Show. And the title was Ice Cube rips Hulk Hogan racist legacy, accused WWE of cover-up. Yeah, man, that's a fool with it, man. I remember when I was little watching wrestling, man. I used to go get my raggedy shirt just to rip it off when Hulk Hogan came out and ripped off his shirt, you know what I mean? And I used to watch Hulk Hogan movies and shows and everything, man. I was a big Hulk Hogan fan, man, for real, though. And yeah, when he went viral for that racist stuff, though, man, that kind of hurt it, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's not like the first time I was like a fan of a white actor or something like that, but then something pop up with them being racist or something. That kind of make you feel some kind of way, man. But yeah, man, I was a big fan growing up, but really, man, I never forgave Hulk Hogan for that. Yeah, man, a lot of fans actually wasn't feeling him either. After the situation with him being racist, yeah, they had him pop up for like a show or something. And man, the fans was booing him, man, for real, though. He looked super sad, man. So Hulk Hogan definitely messed up with that situation, man, for real, though. With me being a fan of him when I was little, man, it definitely hit different. But yeah, man, I haven't checked out the video. Don't completely know what they talking about, but let's check it out and see what they talking about.
Or it's guys that, you know, might have a black girlfriend or two that made them some Kool-Aid every now and then, and they think they can cross the line, and they can't. You know, it's a word that has been used against us. It's like a knife, man.
They've got a name, a phrase for guys like you. It's called
double standard. I've got racist to a point. Yeah. You know,
Ice Cube just called Hulk Hogan a racist fraud and said WWE spent decades helping him hide it.
This point on in WCW, we take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the job, we want the goals. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
So while the internet fake mourns Hulk, Cube came out swinging, and he had just one message. This man hated black people. And no, it wasn't just that one incident from 10 years ago when he used the N-word. It goes deeper than that. Going all the way back to the 80s and 90s, Hulk used racist dog whistles. And his character in the WWF was basically an all-American savior against foreign threats like Iron Sheik and Kamala. Now, WWE initially removed Hulk from their Hall of Fame and scrubbed mentions, only to bring him back a few years later like nothing happened, and pushed the redemption storyline. Well, Ice Cube watched that entire play and saw it for what it was: corporate rebranding of racism as a mistake. Also, did we forget that Hulk spent the last years of his life hanging out with KKK members and actual Yazzies while promoting his beer? So yeah, you really can't be mad at Ice Cube for refusing to act like Hulk was an American hero, but Cube is not just refusing to forgive, he's also accusing WWE of orchestrating one of the biggest racial cover-ups in entertainment history.
It's been used as a weapon against us by white people. And we're not going to let that happen again. By nobody.
Hours after Hulk Hogan's death hit the news, Ice Cube didn't post a tribute or call Hulk a legend. Instead, he called him out. Cube wrote, "Funny how y'all remember the leg drops and the catchphrases, but forget the racism."
Man.
That one post, real or imagined, you decide how far you want to push it, lit up the timeline. And this hit different because Cube's not some outsider throwing stones. He's a hip-hop legend, an industry OG, and someone who's watched racism get excused, repackaged, and monetized for decades. While other celebs like Steve Harvey are out here defending Hulk.
Now, do I forgive him? Yeah. Do I think his career should be ruined because of it? No, I don't. Because if we ruining people's career for that word right there, ain't none of us gonna be working.
Ice Cube is demanding receipts. He's claiming that WWE is just a PR machine for whitewashed racism and warning people not to fall for the legacy spin. But Cube didn't stand alone. His son, O'Shea Jackson Jr., made it clear years ago that Hulk Hogan was dead to him before he actually died. Back in 2015, when the N-word scandal hit the internet, O'Shea actually booed Hulk at WWE Raw. And when asked why, O'Shea kept it simple. It's racism. Point blank, and there's no sugarcoating it.
But what you think? Hulk Hogan got booed out the building.
I was one of them. I'll show you the video.
Really?
Man.
What was that about?
Me, Eric Andre, and Wale was giving it to
I
him.
love it.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, I don't, you know.
But why though? Oh, Shay, if you don't mind me asking, but why?
Hating.
Okay.
Okay.
The racism, bro.
Yeah.
It's just hard to forget how detailed that rant was. And if you look up his rant, it's very detailed. And I get a lot of people online who are like, oh well, he would be mad if he found out about that whole generation. Yeah, well, when I find out, I'll be mad. But like right now, yeah, bro, bringing him out here, what you think was gonna happen?
Now, when
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm with him, man. Like Hulk Ben died, man. For real, though. Like I wasn't rocking with him after that racist rant, man. Man, I was a grown man with that rant, but man, I still was hurt though, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person that really don't be hurt over too much stuff. But that Hulk Hogan situation hit a little different, man. Like I said, man, I was a big fan growing up, man.
new hit last week that Hulk Hogan died at the age of 71, O'Shea simply wrote on X, "Holy ish." However, Hulk's fans went after him, demanding that he apologize for his past comments about Hulk. One user responded to O'Shea, saying, "You was talking all that ish, now apologize." And someone else wrote, "Hulk Hogan is the reason what wrestling is today, regardless what anyone has to say. He made his mistakes, I mean, who hasn't? But let's be real, saying he made his mistakes, who hasn't, about Hulk Hogan is wild. This wasn't some slip up. He didn't forget to text someone back. He dropped the N-word repeatedly while ranting about not wanting his daughter dating a black man."
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Nobody can't tell people how to feel about Hulk Hogan, man. We feel like we feel because we was actually fans of Hulk Hogan too. You know what I'm saying? Just like y'all fans of Hulk Hogan, we was fans of Hulk Hogan too. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a mistake. That's who he is. And the worst part, that wasn't even a one-off incident, Al. It was part of a pattern of racist behavior that went on for years, both behind closed doors and on national TV. It wasn't a mistake. It was a long pattern of racism, ignorance, and straight-up hate. Here's the timeline y'all keep trying to forget. Hulk was being openly racist way back in the mid-1880s when he used racist gimmicks to mock the African heritage of his rival Kamala, aka the Ugandan giant. In promotional segments, Hulk wore war paint to mock Kamala, mimicked his noises, and referred to natives in the mumbo jumbo pot. Moving on, in the early 1990s during the WWF storyline against Sergeant Slaughter, who was portrayed as an Iraqi sympathizer, Hulk the Defender of America. This whole gimmick was promoted as patriotic, but we all know what the underlying message was. Now you could argue the 80s and 90s stuff was just wrestling gimmicks. Was it offensive? Sure, by today's standards. Racist? Definitely. But it was still part of a scripted industry based on stereotypes and cheap entertainment. And Hulk wasn't the only one doing it. The whole WWF machine was pushing that trash. But what Hulk said in that leaked private tape, that wasn't a character. That was Hulk Hogan behind closed doors, using the N-word multiple times, saying he didn't want his daughter dating a black man. That's who Hulk Hogan really was. So here's what happened. Back in 2015, a private video from around 2006 or 2007 leaked, showing Hulk going on a serious racist rant and dropping the N-word repeatedly while discussing his daughter dating a black man. One of the most shocking parts was when he said something like, "I don't want my daughter to be with no N-words unless he's a rich, 8-foot-tall N-word." Hulk also went on to say he's racist to a point, as if admitting it like it was no big deal.
We're gonna hang out, like hold hands together on Twitter, get close to trying to block and stuff like that. That's not a double standard. I'm racist to a point. Yeah. You know, and then when it comes to nice people, we all are that way. Yeah, when it comes to nice people, you can't say. I don't give a fuck shit. I don't give a fuck hate the ball. That's what we're gonna have. If we're gonna talk with vendors, we'll see the original.
Throughout this whole
I ain't gonna lie, man. We kind of somewhat gotta get at to him. At least he admit he's somewhat racist, you know what I'm saying? But I think the problem is a lot of us was fans of him. Yeah, man, if you're a racist, you're just a racist. Nobody really care. But with us growing up and being fans and then finding out you like racist, it just hit different, man, for real.
Rant. Hulk kept using the N-word casually and made offensive stereotypes about black
Jackie
people.
Lawrence.
And it was clear this wasn't a one-time slip, but something he believed and said without shame. Now, when the tape went public, WWE immediately cut ties with Hulk. They canceled his contract and removed him from their Hall of Fame page. And Hulk later apologized on TV, calling it the lowest point of his life and blaming his upbringing in a racist environment.
Do you have any personal preference who ethnically your daughter dates?
No, I don't. Actually, the guy my daughter was dating, I liked him a lot. I've known him for quite a while. And I was very mad at a personal situation that happened with my daughter.
Are you a racist?
No, I'm not. I'm not a racist. I never should have said what I said. It was wrong. I'm embarrassed by it. But a lot of people need to realize that you inherit things from your environment. And where I grew up was South Tampa, Port Tampa. And it was a really rough neighborhood, very low income. And all my friends, we greeted each other saying that word. We teased each other with that word. The word was just thrown around like it was nothing.
But see, the apology
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that was a lame apology, man, for real. Cause we just heard the audio clip with him talk about. I admit I am a little bit of racist, you know. So yeah, man, I call BS on that apology for real.
was all me. Hulk mainly talked about how the scandal affected him, and it seemed he wasn't sorry for what he said. He was only sorry he got caught. In fact, he actually said in this apology that he had no idea he was being taped. And that tells you pretty much all you need to know about who Hulk Hogan was as a person when the cameras were off.
Out of
Man,
everything that I've been through, this one hit me probably the hardest. And that's a heck of a thing to say, because I've been through a lot of crazy stuff. I was at the lowest point of my life. My personal life was destroyed. I was very mad at my daughter. I was upset over a situation that happened between her and her boyfriend. And I had no idea I was being taped. I was to the point where I wanted to kill myself. I sat in my bathroom by myself when my ex-wife was gone and the kids were gone, and I was completely broken and destroyed. And I said, what's the easiest way out of this? I mean, I was lost.
You were suicidal.
Yes, I was.
But this apology
Man.
didn't erase the fact that Hulk pretty much admitted to being racist and used hateful language in private. This tape is the biggest reason why Hogan's racist reputation sticks so hard. You can't just say it was a mistake or it was a character when this was his private, unfiltered thoughts on race. And here's the thing. In that apology interview, Hulk claimed that while it's true he inherited racial bias, he was determined to break the cycle.
Is it fair to say that you inherited a racial bias?
I would say that is very fair, but you can break the cycle. And that's what everybody needs to know. You can break this cycle and become a better person, become who you're meant to be instead of who you're supposed to be.
However, Hulk never broke the cycle. There was no real accountability, no public education, no actions to match the words. Hulk wasn't out here doing anti-racism work or even showing up in any meaningful way. In fact, he
Man.
continued being racist. When Hulk's son Nick was jailed in 2008 after a DUI crash that left his friend severely injured, Hulk regularly visited him, and their conversations were recorded and later released by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Well, in one of these calls,
That's
Hulk
weird.
once again repeatedly used the N-word, referring to Nick and his friends with racial slurs. He also made dehumanizing comments about black people, calling them ACCUSES and mocking black staff at Pinellas County's detention center. According to a
man.
transcript obtained by Radar Online, Hulk told his son, "You know that God gave you this vibe and this energy that you and I are going to live forever, bro. I just hope we don't come back as a couple. I don't want to say it, Blizzak Gizuis, you know what I'm saying?" And this recording, which was later scrubbed from the internet, exposed that Hulk's
Man.
racism wasn't limited to the private tape incident.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. Him being racist is super extensive, man. I'm surprised I ain't know he was racist before I found out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I don't know how they expect black people to feel sorry for him and stuff right now. You know what I mean? It's sad he passed, R.I.P. But man, it is what it is. He hurt a lot of his black fans, man. For real, though.
This was his private, unfiltered language. It's real evidence of what he believed. But despite all the backlash, WWE decided to put profit over accountability, and they quietly reinstated Hulk in the Hall of Fame in 2018. WWE issued a statement saying that Hulk deserves a second chance because of his numerous public apologies and volunteering to work with young people, where he is helping them learn from his mistake. And there it is. They're once again trying to convince you that casual racism is a mistake. Hulk claimed he wanted to break the cycle, but let's be real, he never did. In fact, in November 2024, less than a year before Hulk's death, the whole Real American Beer promo event happened zero, and that's when it became crystal clear that the break the cycle line was just PR. At that event, Hulk was photographed smiling next to a guy wearing a Make America White Again hat and an 88 hoodie, a direct neo-Yazzie dog whistle. The man was also flashing a white power symbol, and this wasn't a random crowd shot. It was a posed photo, front and center. But even when his fans called him out, Hulk didn't say anything, didn't distance himself, and didn't condemn it. This was years after the private tape scandal, after the apology, and after Hulk had every chance to actually change. Instead, he ends up cozying up to actual KKK members. So much for breaking the cycle. And that's exactly why Ice Cube is out here trying to educate y'all. At some point, it stops being about mistakes and starts being about patterns. And Hulk Hogan? He's shown us that the racism wasn't a phase. It's who he's always been. And if you thought this story stopped with Hulk Hogan's death, it's actually just getting started. Because now, behind the scenes, there are rumors inside WWE coming from some former staff, even ex-wrestlers, saying they were told to stay quiet during the original scandal, that if they spoke out, their careers were at risk. Here's where it really gets wild. There's talk that WWE knew about Hulk's other racist comments that were reportedly way worse than the ones we know about. However, they agreed to seal them in exchange for Hulk's return to the company. But it gets darker. Allegedly, one WWE executive pushed to use Hulk's redemption arc as a selling point for a network docuseries that never aired. Why? Because the legal team pulled the plug when they realized it might open the floodgates on Hulk's other skeletons.
Yeah, man, that's a fool with it, man. Yeah, man, I didn't even know it was that extensive, man. That boy Hulk Hogan been super racist for a while now, man. But then getting cool with the KKK dudes and all that, man. Nah, man, it ain't cool, man, for real, though. At the end of the day, man, I just feel like Hulk Hogan hurt a lot of his black fans, man, for real, though. I don't know who was a fan of him, still can be a fan of him now, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, he definitely still a legend, you know what I'm saying? He just ain't my legend, you know what I'm saying? Not my favorite legend, you feel me? Yeah, man, it's sad he went out how he went out, though, man. Like I was saying, man, I was really a big fan of Hulk Hogan, man. With how extensive his racism goes, see why people even expect black people to be feeling sympathy or something like that, you know what I mean? For real, though, man. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. You watching the Babe Mama TV. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Until next time. All right.